Tom, tell everybody here why they changed to make sure the door doesn't open to the inside before you go ahead, Tom. Give us the breakdown.
Pressure. You've seen all pictures. What happens when an airplane loses a window at like 30,000 feet, right? It's madness, right? All the stuff you can get sucked right out of there, just like a guy Pat's eyes will go right out the window like going through a meat grinder. And so when this thing goes all the way up and comes back, there's this process they have to do to open the door and to allow the pressure to equalize outside to inside. Not just like you just open it, because the pressure inside is actually lower. So you open that door, that thing would lip open, and you'd have your bell rung. It would like blow you.
Open it up, Rob. Watch this.
No,
Look, like close the door.
No, not yet.
Jeff Bezos out there right by the capsule? Kind of hard to see.
That is correct. That is Jeff Bezos, our founder.
He has to step up with the official doohickey thing.
So we've just watched that little video. And I had this bit, like, if that has come, you know, when they show us coming through the atmosphere, it's all burning and everything like that. Why is the craft completely white?
Well,
where is the bottom of it? It's just like, what, it's just dumped down.
I picked up on many things. What you remember, Karen, I've done numerous podcasts with you
He
about...
says you can't just open the door like that.
About all the fake moon missions, because I was old enough to, I'm probably
we've done that loads of times.
Yes, loads of times. I was 9 years old.
You can't open that door without it being, it's pressurized in there. If they open the door, it's going to go.
That was just plonked there. It's just a sort of big production.
Because what's the other thing that's missing that you told me about?
Well, basically, right, this craft is just plonked there, and I actually got another view on this. Could it be like the door was deliberately opened, right, to sort of like show people in the truth community, hee-haw, look what we can do, and they still don't get it, the minions, because I can't imagine like they would put that together and that to actually happen. I think it was.
Because they stage everything.
I think it was all staged, and I even opened that door. Well, it's even better than that. When you get the view from the inside, it's like a TARDIS.
Yes,
you can actually see. You can actually see that the actual windows look a different shape, and it's much bigger than what it is on the outside. So this is like a Doctor Who.
Showing you that view. Right?
Yeah, that's meant to be that. That's meant to be that, and from the inside it'll be as big as that. But another thing as well I picked up on. Do you know so-called astronauts like do years and years and years of training? So Katy Perry just thought, oh well, no, I'll just go into space like it's easy peasy. So even if it was all true, but you know it's all fake, she's done no training whatsoever. They've just jumped onto a blinking, a penis-looking rocket ship, gone up, come down, as if nothing's happened. How's your father? And just walked out of there. Now we know that. All the astronauts, even though it was rubbish, they used to go on centrifuge.
Did you notice when they were coming out, they didn't have any helmets on or nothing?
No. There's no, and I noticed another thing as well. There's no like ground crew there at all. There's no sort of like emergency vehicles.
Yeah.
There's no emergency vehicles. Like if you remember, like all the Apollo sort of like missions and the Gemini missions, they always have sort of like standby emergency vehicles in case something was going to happen, to make it
fire engines and
even though we know it was fake, to make it look as realistic as humanly possible. It looks like they never even tried with this one. I find it laughable to think that would anyone actually believe that has happened. It seems quite bemusing to me. I should imagine there are people.
It's really hard to think all those people are in there because it doesn't actually look very big.
No. There's so much in this.
There's no, you know, if it's coming through the trajectory of, you know, the fire thing, why hasn't it got flame marks on it?
Well, for a start, like they can't get through the firmament. But I mean, another thing as well.
Yes, we know
they
that.
said they just went up. They said they just went up so high and come back, and they went to the Kármán line and come down. Apparently, well, you know, basically, this is just another production of what they did. You know, 55 years ago.
Do you know the saddest bit I feel, Gary, is that millions of people will believe this is real.
Exactly.
And this is how they can have the wars and everything else, because everybody's going to believe them.
Well, I mean, these people, like, you know, they have to do certain things. And if they're told, people like Katy Perry and co there, if they're told they've got to do certain things, they have to do them. And this was one of them. And it's a sort of like, basically, my opinion of this is, they still carry on doing this. It's a sort of like try and convince people that we're living on a globe, and you know, hiding God as well. Hiding God. Basically, you know, this is what this is all about.
What they're making it sound like is anybody can go into space.
Yeah, they're trying to make it. They're trying to make it sort of like, you know,
you and me could go.
Yeah, anyone. If you got the money to go. I mean, Katy Perry probably got paid handsomely for it, rather than paying how many $1,000 it actually was. She probably got paid handsomely for it, but she was told she had to do it because people look at her as a figurehead, you know, or him. Is it him or not? I'm not sure.
Well, I'm not sure either. I have the same feeling.
You know,
I look at her and I just think, why is her head the same size as Orlando Bloom?
I don't know.
She has the same head as all those pictures of them are superimposed together.
Is it another Magic Mike? Who knows? But we spoke about it earlier, didn't we? Saying what we'd have.
Well, I've just been showing. It was all President's Men. That's what I named the video.
Yeah.
It was after Biden had been inaugurated, and all of them are there with masks on. And then Michelle Obama walks down the stairs, and you can see she's got a package in there.
Yeah, well, I seen a similar thing the other day with Taylor Swift. I mean, now, could it be that sort of like they put something down there to make it assume that sort of like to...
No, would you? That'd be so uncomfortable. Come on, I don't
It'd be very
know.
uncomfortable,
No.
especially if you ain't got nothing down there, yeah. But...
She had a package in her trousers, Michelle
I mean,
Obama.
back to this, the whole thing from top to bottom, like, was just one big stage show, and it wasn't
also, do you notice, like, there's nothing from when they've landed. There's no boof. Like, where's the boof? There's no sand has moved. Nothing has done anything.
I mean, they didn't actually show... You know what makes you laugh with all these? It goes all the way back to the 60s.
They've been into space. Oh, they're back now, and there they are back.
You never have cameras, like, on board, sort of like showing when it's going up. You always see sort of like... You see it going up, you see it coming down, and when they're getting up, you don't actually see it on the rocket ship itself when they're actually going up. See what I mean? You never ever see that.
Well, I did see one bit when the astronauts are in there and it's all going like this.
That was on the G plane. That was when they were sort of like, you know, the G force.
Well, they're supposed to be going up in a rocket, and it was banging around a lot. But I saw that once.
But you know,
listen, one of my favourite videos I did was when two astronauts were outside, except one of them was frozen, and it was supposed to be live. So it's all just rubbish.
Well,
anyway, back to this.
Anyway,
so where's the bit where they've landed? Look, there's no crater, like a little bit of a doof where they've landed.
I mean, I used to.
And you think it landed perfect? Where's the blue? The parachute. The balloon.
Parachute.
Where's
the parachute?
Balloon?
Where's the parachute? You mean the parachute?
Yeah.
They use a parachute.
Sorry,
yeah,
I mean a
exactly.
parachute. Yeah. Where's the parachute? What? It could just land perfectly like that.
I used to watch Lost in Space in the 60s, and that looked more realistic than what this does. It looks worse than sort of like obvious, but you know something? I think they got to the situation now, Karen, where they can do anything, and some people are never going to get it. I mean, I could probably walk over the road light to one of your neighbours.
Oh, they did land. Did you see
and they'll
that?
turn around and say,
Origin. Yeah, did you see it? It was good, wasn't it?
Do you know? It never actually happened. It was all the stage. What you would get is, why would they do it? You get the same answers all the time.
Why? Because they can make you believe that every war they have is real.
Exactly. Like, you know, we've done podcasts about it. You know, every war's scripted.
Well, we watched the film, haven't we? The 1968 film when Donald Pleasance and they take him into that room.
Do you know
I was showing that to Jimbo.
The strangest thing is, it's so sometimes life can be so simple, but people make it complicated. I've actually asked military men before, why did they do what they done? And they turn around and say, and listen, I've got nothing against any military men out there. And they turn around and say, because I've been instructed to. And I say to them, yeah, but why did you do it? I'm not saying what you've been told. And they really ain't got an answer for it, because if they was to know like that, almost certainly like it's all been scripted, you've got to ask yourself, would they actually have done it in the first place? But that's a podcast for another day. We've been over that before, haven't we?
Well, I feel sorry for the people who believe that it's real.
Yeah, to think that sort of like people would actually still believe in this day and age like that this was an actual real event that happened, I really can't help you, you know. And like I said, I'm one of the old timers that told my dad like in 1969 that the original moon landings was fake, you know. But there you go. What can you do? Some people like living in a fake reality, Karen. That's all I can think it is.
Yeah.
That's all I can think it is. But anyway,
they can make you believe that anything is happening.
Yeah. But anyway, we've
down here of you know, because there's no way they could was that in there? The Blue Origin is suing.
Yeah, because people, what can they sue about? That we're telling the truth.
It's quite tiny, that thing, to think they were in there and that they didn't feel one bump.
Well, to be honest with you, I think it was a set-up job with the door open a little bit first of all. You know, people might disagree.
I
with
never
that part
thought of that they. But then, Right, so Ellie doing some cat food. Ellie, we're taping. That's all right. Yeah. Well, there's something all wrong. There's no fire engines, no ambulance, no security,
no training to do it in the first place.
No training.
I mean, William Shatner,
parachute.
if you remember, with Branson, Richard Shatner done a similar thing. He's in his bloody 90s. He's got more. He's got more chins. He's got more chins now than a Chinese phone book.
When it came down, it went dunk, 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 dunk. I thought he must have had a really rough journey back then.
But this is.
He comes out.
Listen, folks. This is the price you pay for having fame and fortune. It doesn't come.
This is the price you pay if you believe anything they say.
If you want sort of like untold riches, you get told to do things, and this is why I sort of like I haven't got anything, and these people have got millions in the bank, but I've still got my dignity, which they haven't got, because they sell their soul basically.
And also on that video, the one that I took off, they said, quick, shut the door. What have you opened the door for? Shut the door. Where's Bezos? That's what they said.
Yes, but I think that was a set-up job. It's a show to us, like, look, if they don't get it now, they're never going to get it. There should be millions of people screaming from the streets, shouldn't there? Not people in the truth community.
Well, this is what I reckon, Gary. In our general election, about 20% of the people voted. And in that 20%, Labour got the majority out of 20%. So they only got 12%. And they're doing all these changes and all these things to us on a tiny minority. It's not even a minority, is it?
Yeah.
It's just a tiny figure. I say that was a vote of no confidence. They're not talking about that.
That's right.
And even those girls today, where I was working, they're not into flatty and everything, but they know that Keir Starmer is hated and nobody wants him. They said it to me.
Yep.
The teachers at the school said it to me as well.
I've yet to meet someone that likes him at all.
When you know what he did before he came to power and he didn't sort that out.
When he was
I made a video before he was voted in and I said, you won't. Well, he wasn't voted in. They elected him. We didn't vote. Our votes meant nothing. They elected him. That's who they wanted.
Selected him. So he's just been selected. But back to this, right? This is actually, for me, worse than what sort of like the Apollo 5 missions, because it looks like here they haven't even tried. They probably think now they can do anything they want to do and people are just going to believe it. I mean, like the car in space with Elon Musk, but I think that's about all we can say about this, Karen. I mean, it's diabolical, really. But like I said, you can see that sort of like inside is not the same as the outside. It's much bigger. The windows look a different shape to me.
But it could have been that they had a 360 camera or something like that, so it makes it look. They can get the whole picture in. But it's not very big in there. But they can make things look bigger.
Do you know
make
something?
People's gardens look
it's no
huge.
different. It's no different than the Apollo missions. Usually, it's Occam's razor. The most obvious answer is the one with the Apollo 5 missions, Karen. They went up the gantry. They went up the gantry light in the lift. Got into the space rocket. Come out. The space rocket took off. And when everyone goes home, they just come down. It's a magician's trick.
Because look at that.
If you ever,
that rocket wasn't very big then. If that thing there is that, it's not a very big rocket, is it?
If you ever watch Penn and Teller, it's amazing. Sometimes, like with magicians, the simplest thing is the answer, and this is what's happened here. It's just an old-fashioned magician trick. They got in, got out, and then got in. They were put in that little capsule at the end, the little landing capsule, like, and then they got out of it. I mean, they got out as fresh as daisies, didn't they?
Do you see that? They're only just above the clouds.
They've had CGI, isn't it?
Is that supposed to be their mission? Because that one's just above the clouds.
Well, I mean, you see the curve of the Earth.
Do you know where that is? That's half a mile up.
You see the curve of the
Clouds
Earth as
are
well.
half a mile up.
You see the curve of the Earth as well, like when they was up there. It's all CGI.
Oh my God, how pathetic! They've just got to.
You can see that one there in the middle. Look, bring that back there. Look, you can see the curve of the Earth. This one, look, highlight it. See
that one?
Yeah, you can see the curve of the Earth there.
But you can't
because it's not. The Earth isn't curved, so obviously not. It's all CGI.
Yeah.
But if anyone still thinks hears this podcast, like, and they still think it's all real, I really can't help you, mate. Or
that's what it's for. So she had a photo shoot with a.
Yeah.
I mean, look at her neck there in that one. Oh, I've just got to show you this one. Oh, look at her neck there. Look at that. What is that? There's something in the middle. Anyway, is that what he wanted to do?
I think so.
Yeah, we've covered that one.
So, right.
Well, we know how you feel about that one then. Well, I felt the same.
I thought it was all true. I thought everything about that was true, 100%.
Well, it
I'm only joking.
Because they open the door first. Anyway, let's go on to the next bit.
Yeah.